here's how to book calls from DMs. So whether you're setting calls for your closer or you're setting for yourself, this is the process we go through. So first we're going to go through the principles because I don't want to just give you the script because scripts are kind of static. You don't really understand it. Then you don't know what to do. You're going to be constantly asking, what do I say? What do I say? But if you understand the principles behind why you're doing what you're doing, then you're going to be able to catch the fish in your zone, so to say. So let's go through it. So in DMs, here's what not to do. Sounding like a bot, we all get this text, build bulky text that look like copy paste like this. When people open, because you got to realize, we got to put yourselves in their shoes, the recipient. So they're opening their phone on Facebook, Instagram, or their text, and then they get a big bulky text like this on the way to the gym. No one wants to read it because people are busy. And number two, now people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So, and also something that lowers your status, signing approval seeking, like, hey, how are you? I'm from this, qualifying yourself. No, get rid of that. And not following up, which is a mistake. And also the paradox is that following up too often, if it's too much, that's a problem. For example, like this. I got this text from a person on Tuesday, 14 p.m. He sent me like 4 different messages, then unsent it. Then about 2 hours later, he sent me another text. Hey, brother, are you free now? 2 hours after that, when are you free? Send me all the video. And then 30 minutes later, he sent me another text. Hey, brother, I'm waiting for your reply. Don't do that. So what do we do? What helps is if you build touch points before the first message. What I mean by first touch points is, let's say you're farming from a Facebook group or a Discord. Then if they made a question or a post in the community, you can like and comment on that thing. So if they're making an intro post, hey, good to be here. And also how to cherry pick the best leads from those kind of communities is if they're already asking a question. Okay, so in a Facebook group or like in one of your comments or the influencer's Instagram page, they're making a comment, asking a question. Those are the quote unquote highest intent leads from that context because they're asking a question, meaning that they have a problem they're trying to solve. Okay, so let's actually go through a quick example. So this is a random group I found on Facebook. It's for Airbnb. So if you have Airbnb offer, like a biz op or business coaching. So as you scroll through, you're going to get certain questions, right? Like a welcome post. Okay. So this person is asking a question. Does anyone have a trusted contact? Someone that removes nonsense Airbnb reviews, different things like this. So as you scroll through, what you can do is you don't have to be an expert in Airbnb or wherever the thing you sell, because what you can do is become a quote unquote helpful community manager / accountability coach. So you can like this post, right? And you can comment, hey, name, hey, Jack, influencer name, let's say Jake, made a video going over step by step how to remove negative Airbnb reviews. Want me to send it to you? So the reason why you leave a comment is this does multiple things. What this does is, number one, this person sees it, though whoever made the question, and also other people see it in this thread or people that are going to be scrolling through. So this person is going to be like, yes, please send it to me. But the trick is you're going to message them before they reply anyway. And there are going to be other people that also see that. He's like, hey, can you also send that to me? So in my previous company, I was doing that. I was just farming the Facebook group and I'll just have people commenting on the thing. And if you're lower on calls and you just start messaging those people, and the people in these communities, they're more likely to close anyway, like Facebook groups and Discord channels, because they're in here. You got to think about this, right? When they join a Facebook group, they have to answer like 3 questions, right? What's your situation? Leave your email, all that kind of shit. They come here, and before even they find the Facebook group, they have to search on here. They search the keyword, how to close deals or whatever. And then they join the group, and then they ask a question. That shows that this person is trying to figure something out, their problem, right? So when you do that, you farm that person, and then you can start messaging them, okay? Now, so building touch points is that like and comment, okay? If not, you can just, if it's an Instagram page, you can just heart their comment or whatever, different things like that. If you can't build a touch point because their profile is locked or whatever, don't worry about it, but it's just better if you do that, because what it creates is something called mere exposure effect. I learned this from a dating coach, because what happens is, let's say, for example, and also there's a book called, I forgot the name of it, but let's say someone commits a crime, right? And someone ends up in the news, they're like a serial killer. And then you interview the serial killer's neighbor. It's like, hey, did you know that your neighbor John was actually a serial killer? They're like, oh no, I never thought John would be a serial killer. And then you'll see that like time after time after time. The reason why is because a lot of crimes happen from their own neighbors, which is crazy. And that is because if you see someone for a lot of different touch points, meaning that a lot of different occasions and frequencies, then even if the interaction only lasts for like 3 seconds, it may sound something like, hey, John, how's it going? Oh, yeah, how's the kids? All right, cool, have a good day. As short as that, it just builds upon each time. So it's a lot more powerful than just having one 30-minute conversation, because as those add up. And so when you do that, they're more likely to respond to you. They trust you more. They're likely to open up to you, things like that, which is why it's also powerful to the follow-ups. Now, in the beginning of the conversation, you want to use jokes, memes, GIFs in the beginning to disarm them. And we're going to go over some examples later down as well. But the reason why is because over in DMs, especially, people get pitched all the time in DMs or their texts, like telemarketers, SMS marketing, things like that, that if you sound human, just from that, you'll stand out from 99% of other people that are being marketed from. So just be human. And different memes you can say, it doesn't have to be even relevant to the conversation. They may be saying something is like, yeah, I want to make more money. And you can, in Facebook or different WhatsApp or different messaging platforms, you can click the option GIF, and then you can type in the search, oh, snap. And it'll be like some dude going like, oh, snap, something like that. And then that alone doesn't have to be super funny, but it just breaks the ice. Or also, if they're saying something, and then you can send like a unicorn GIF, like unicorn running through the rainbows. It doesn't have to be contextually correct at all, but you can just use those in the beginning. You don't want to overdo it because it just kind of seems weird. But in the beginning, you want to sprinkle those in here and there because that'll help them open up, especially in the beginning. And also give value first. So you can send them a free sample that they can benefit from that makes them go, oh, that's pretty nice. So this one I got. So they're a video editor. Hey, for starter, I can send you one reel for you. I can edit one of your reels for free to see your skill set. I'm like, oh, that's pretty nice. This person stood out from the rest of the other videos I got pitched from. So for what you sell, just think, okay, what's a valuable lead magnet? Maybe like a training video, maybe it's a script, maybe it's a template, maybe it's an SOP from the influencer's training vaults that you can send. So go through the YouTube channel, whatever it may be, something small, right? But something, it's better if instead of a 10-minute video, if you can send them like a 1-page script, that's even more useful. It's like, oh, dude, I'm going to use this, But go through that, and then you can start sending out lead magnets depending on, especially if this person said, hey, yeah, I'm struggling with this negative reviews, and you can just do this. Okay. Now let's go into the script. So the DM call booking script. So the framework is pretty much the same as an outbound call in sales. It's pretty much the same. It just needs to be a bit contextualized because of DM context. So how you do that is you open, depending on where you found them from. Let's say it's an Instagram, and then you're just sending them a message. They can be like, hey, man, just so you've been following me for a bit, welcome to the page. So if you are setting from the influencer's profile or setting for yourself from your own profile. Okay. Also, you can farm likes, comments, and story views if you can log into the influencer's profile, or if you're setting from your own profile. Hey, Jake, so I saw your name pop up on my page. Welcome to the page. Okay. And then, or if you're sending a lead magnet, hey, name, so you commented for the messenger scripts. Here it is. Link, are able to access the question mark. So you get a response, and after that same thing, you get an overarching outcome. So this is simply to open. The point of the opening is just to open. Not for them to book a call, not for them to buy it. Just simply get a response. That's it. Overarching outcome. And are you following just for inspiration, or are you possibly looking to get outcome as well? So are you looking to just following for inspiration, or are you looking to possibly start a business and make more money as well? So just insert whatever the outcome is. The reason why are just following, and I learned this from a guy named George Nita. He is a DM manager for a really big appointment setting company in the space. They're like doing like multiple 7 figures. And so this is what I learned, because when you say, are you just looking for inspiration? It gives them a bit of a quote unquote a illusion of control to the prospect, because they can just be like, yeah, I'm just looking around. Yeah, I'm just following. And doesn't matter what they say, you can segue into the next conversation. Because if they say, yeah, I'm just looking for inspiration, nice. What was it you saw in the videos that inspired you? What was it you saw in the videos that sparked your interest? something along those lines. And then you start to get an answer of the overarching outcome. Oh, make more money, start a business, have more time, things like that. Lose more weight, get more dates. And if they say, yes, I am looking for outcome, nice. And do you know what you're looking for when it comes to starting, like what you want out of a business, getting more dates, things like that. And you get to pretty much the same outcome, which is the overarching outcome. After that, we go into a situation. What are they doing now to get that outcome? What are you doing to grow your business now? What are you doing to get more dates now? What are you doing to lose more weight now? What are you doing for a living now? If it's a biz op, damn, so I'm doing this. All right, cool. And typically in an outbound call, you'd ask them how long have you been doing that. But I found it in a DM conversation, you want to be more concise. So just like, okay, what are you doing now? Situation, problem. And then in that case, depending on the context, you can ask either, do you like it or is it working? So if they're already doing like a lead generation strategy, is it working? If they're working on a job, for example, well, do you like it? And then you get a yes or no. Same thing. If they say no, it's pretty straightforward. What don't you like? What's not working? You get an answer. You find a problem. If they say yes, I like it or it's working. Oh, cool. What do you like about it? What's working? And then you go into two truths. And by the way, in a messenger conversation, you don't want to just send like one bulky text and like these paragraphs because no one likes those. It looks automated. What you want to do is you want to break up your texts, right? So if you see the bullet points, these are each send, right? Here it is. Send, link, send. Are you able to access that? Send. Because just go back to your text conversations with your friends. You're not sending a fucking paragraph with bulky text, but boom, send, boom, send, boom, send. Something I learned from, I used to DM set for a guy named Miles Stutz. And he is one of the best I met when it comes to messenger sales. And basically what he was saying is like, you want to text like a quote unquote 13-year-old girl, like a 13-year-old teenager. Because how they text is kind of like this, like boom, send, boom, send, boom, send. Because that makes it sound more conversational, right? So going back to this, I mean, it sounds like going good. Send. Anything you change about either process or outcome, if you could, send. Right? So is there anything you change about the type of work you do or the financial or time freedom and getting confident, if you could? Boom. And then just like a sales call, they'll either tell you a problem or they tell you a desired outcome. If it's a problem, they tell you problems like, I'm not making enough money. Oh, what do you mean? Boom, probe into that. How long has that been going on? What does that do? But if they tell you a desired outcome-based answer, meaning that I want to make more money. Oh, what's preventing you from making more money now? Or what have you seen in your job that has you looking to make more money? Okay. If they say, I'd like to lose more weight. Oh, why can't you lose more weight now? Right? Or why not lose more weight doing whatever they said they're doing, right? Why not lose more weight going on more walks, right? Or what have you seen in your results in fitness that has you looking for a more consistent way to lose weight? Whatever. And then say this, same thing. What does that do? And find out how the problem is affecting them. Boom. Again, you don't need to get into like, oh man, I'm so frustrated. I hate my life. No. But you do need to just get the implication of the impact and what the problem is doing to them. At that point, the answer, you go into, oh, it could be some trouble. Want to change that. Okay. And you want to get, yes, I want to change that. Mini commitment to change. And then you go for the call proposal. Then you go into, okay, what we could do from here is I can connect you with, if you're setting for somebody else, you can say fancy closer title with our training consultant, with our career advisor to see if it could help you start a business and get to that get the 10K a month or make more money. Would that help? They're like, yes. All right, cool. Sweet. So you can find a time here, booking link. Want to let me know what day you book in. It will confirm an hour end for you. So there's like a skin in the game for them to confirm. I booked. All right, cool. So nurture assets. Oh, and by the way, and you can frame the homework. And also here, you can also do a quick gap build as well, or a quick financial qualification, so on and so forth. So you can ask them, okay, how long's that been going on? You can also ask them, okay, so let's say you're able to get out of the paycheck and start a successful business. How much would you like to be making each month if you could? And then you can go into, okay, so where are you now so we can see the gap? Okay, in terms of health and fitness, you can ask them, where'd you like the weight to be? Where's the weight at now so we can see the gap? And then if you want to add a financial qualification, just like the outbound module, you can add that, right? So I assume that you learning the skills to start a business, that's going to require some type of capital or funding. Given that you found what you're looking for, are you willing to be resourceful? Are you willing to invest in your own skill set? That way you can get out of the paycheck to paycheck. You can add that here. It's a bit optional. And then after that, you propose the call. Boom. Yes, I booked it. And then from here, you can frame the homework. So a homework is basically a nurture asset, meaning that like a client case study, those kind of things to help them get more aware of, build more certainty, and prevent some of the objections even before the sales call. So they booked it. Sweet. Oh, and by the way, one of our clients, Jake, was also working as a nurse, or they were also working too many hours. Then, 3 months after working with us, they quit their job and now they spend more time with their family. We interviewed him on how he did it. Want me to send you the interview or the video? They'd be like, yes. Yeah, here. Send them the link. And then after that, you go into your call confirmation process, which is in the other section. So pretty straightforward. In the infield section, I may add some overview of like the DM process, what that looks like in the actual inbox. But it's pretty much it. Now, if you are sitting from your own profile and you are that person, then you can just have a few back and forth and you just call them straight away from Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp. Like, don't put barriers in front of you. If you're already getting like a couple back and forth, you can just call them right away. I would do that when I was forming the Facebook group in my previous company. I'll just do that. And then I'll just call them straight from Facebook. And after 29 minutes, I get an 8K piff. You know what I mean? So just go for it. And then activity is key, right? Just like not one or two, but if you're low on call volume and you hit the other list and you want to go for this list, this is like the warmest leads for you from your offer, then just fucking go for it. Get after it. So get after it. Let us know if you have any questions and let us know how it goes inside the community.